Samantha Stone, and this is the last episode of the year. I can't believe that 2023 is almost done. We're going to take a couple weeks off for the holiday season, and then we'll regroup back in January. But there's a ton going on this time of year. So before we do that, we have an excellent episode today. We're going to talk with Mayor-elect Michael Concannon about the inauguration, and then we have two businesses to spotlight that have some great things going on, and we know we love to do that this time of year. It gives us a chance for some gift ideas. With that, let's jump right in. Welcome, Mike.
Hi, Samantha. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad that you're with me today and new capacity and officially getting ready for inauguration.
That's right. Lauren and I were just talking how seems like just yesterday I was in here in August and time flies.
It really is. It goes by so quickly. I know that before inauguration, which is when you sort of officially uphold your responsibility as mayor, you've been working really hard with Mayor Galvin on transition planning and stuff. And just in general, how's that going?
It's going very well. I've been working with Scott since shortly after the election. He's been very gracious, very helpful. I've been able to ask him any number of thoughts and ideas and suggestions. He's been very helpful. I've also been meeting with each of the department heads in the city. I do my last round on Thursday. I will have met with every department head. I met with much of the workforce over the last couple of months. I also had the opportunity to attend two mayor-elect seminars. One was put on by the Massachusetts Municipal Association and the other by the Collins Institute at UMass Boston. Very helpful. We got a chance to speak with obviously my fellow mayors-elect, which was great to meet all those folks. But we also got to bounce some questions and get some thoughts from incumbent mayors across the state, about a half dozen or more of them, which is very helpful, very informal conversations where we could ask them any number of questions or scenarios. So I've definitely been learning a lot in the last couple of months, and the phrase drinking through a fire hose definitely applies.
I can imagine. And today, this will publish on Tuesday, but we're taping on Monday. And as everybody knows, there was a lot of people working very hard across the city today. We had a lot of power outages and lines down and roads closed because of flooding, and DPW and the police and probably fire and others worked really, really hard. And I know that you are a big champion of the work that they do.
Absolutely. They were out in force today. I was in the city all day checking out some different areas. There were a couple of events. There was an event at the senior center, the Christmas luncheon. Everything went off without a hitch. But as you say, the police, fire, DPW, parks, they were out straight today, and I believe they still are. As I was pulling in today, I saw a couple of fire trucks going by. But so far, I know there's been some inconveniences with power outages and some little bit of street flooding here and there and some limbs down. But all in all, I think Woburn is faring pretty well. And as you say, thank you very much to all of our emergency responders for getting us through today.
Yeah, I made a strategic mistake today. Ran to the post office around lunchtime, which in and of itself, not a very thoughtful plan around right before the holiday. And thinking, because I don't have much hair, I'll just get a little wet as I run in. I'm not going to bring an umbrella. I got boxes to carry. I think I hit the biggest torrential downpour of the day going in and out of the post office. But the package is in the mail.
There you go. Mission accomplished.
Exactly. So I want to talk about inauguration because that's a special day for us in the city. And the charter does say, I think it's the first Monday. So that's going to be happening on January 1st this year. Where will we be holding the inauguration?
So the inauguration, as you say, per the charter, is on the first Monday in January, which happens to be the 1st, which is kind of cool. I will definitely get my money's worth out of my term every single day. It will be that night at 7:30 p.m. here at Woburn High School in the auditorium. Technically, the charter says everyone gets sworn in at 8 p.m. So if we kick things off about 7:30, a little bit of pomp and circumstance, that should bring us right up to about 8.
I love that. Now, obviously, it's a really important day for our mayor because you'll be sworn in, but also all the other newly elected folks will be sworn in as well, correct?
Right. City council and school committee will be sworn in. We'll do one big ceremony, and It shouldn't take too long, and then afterwards, there'll be a small gathering over at the country club. But I am excited about the inauguration. We've got a lot of tradition. Obviously, it's something we've been doing for years here in Woburn. Uh, Interestingly enough, one piece of the ceremony, I've asked Kathy Lucero from the Historical Society to come in and give us just a little bit of a brief history on inaugurations and some of the highlights of some of the mayors over the years. Um, I do believe in tradition. I think it's a nice touch. So we'll have that sprinkled in, some musical selections from some local folks, and we're even going to have Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts as the honorary ushers for the evening. So I'm looking forward to that. And I welcome everybody in Woburn, anyone who can make it, to please come down to the high school, 7:30 on the 1st, and join us. Should be a lot of fun.
I love that. And I know that Woburn Public Media will also be broadcasting it as well,
Right.
for those who aren't able to come in person. But I think it would be such a lovely way to kick off the new administration, to have lots of people there in person and participate. I know many of us don't come to inaugurations typically,
Right.
but the high school location and knowing we have so many people in the community participating will be a great way. So hope lots of folks are able to make it there. Now,
Love to
one of
see
the
the
other
auditorium full if we could.
That would be amazing. I would love to see that.
Yep.
I know one of the other important things that happens during it is a speech from our mayor about sort of the state of the city. And I won't ask you to tell me all the things that you're going to share with us that day, but any themes or sneak peeks you'd like to share about for those folks who are thinking about joining us that night.
Sure. Truth be told, I'm still in the process of writing that speech. I have several versions
You've got more
running through
than
my
10
head.
days. You've got plenty of
Plenty of
time.
time. Plenty of time. The theme is essentially service, the value of service to our community, and there'll be a bit about looking backward, how we got here, and thanks to those who have brought us to this point. A brief pause and a reflection, and then of course a look forward, what we hope to accomplish during the term, and again the impact of the value and the importance of service to our community. I expect to be a large theme in the speech.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for catching up with us today and touching base in the inauguration. I hope lots of people participate in person and online. And when we pick back up in January, we'll be welcoming you each week. And we are so grateful for your willingness to do that.
I look forward to it, Samantha. Thank you very much. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much. James, welcome. We're going to switch gears and talk a little bit about one of my favorite subjects, which is food. So James, you have a spice rub business, right? And you sell all different kinds of rubs and spice combinations.
Yes, my name is James Spencer. I'm with Luna Beans Rubs and Things. I was a chef in the food business for over 20 years. Loved cooking, but became a stay-at-home dad. It's a much better gig. So I decided writing down recipes and trying them with friends and family, and they all seemed to like it and thought I should start bottling it up and selling it. So we sell right now on Etsy. We sell on Facebook, and we do local fairs in the area. We used to kind of specialize in barbecue, but not everybody barbecues, and especially in New England, you can't barbecue all year. Well, some people do, and we love them for it. But we do have a little bit of rubs and seasonings for everybody. Southwest seasonings. We have barbecue seasonings, steak seasonings, chicken. I'm a salt kind of guy, but a lot of people have restrictions. We do have a couple that are no salt, no sugar. And I am a small company that makes all my rubs by hand. I buy everything, source it, and bottle it. So if there's any restrictions that anybody has, they can contact me and I can make it the way they like it for their diet or need it for their diet.
I love that. That's really great for people who have allergies, to be able to personalize that. Now, what's the name of the business? What is the name of the rubs?
It is Luna Beans Rubs and Things. Little Luna is my daughter, and she was the reason why I started the business. My wife did a baby shower for guys. It was called a baby Q. And we actually used the baby rub, which was my first seasoning, as a gift for my friends and family, and that's where they all started trying it. So there were some of the original names are Baby Powder and Baby Rub, which was kind of made a lot more sense then than it does now. But they're excellent flavors, and we still sell a lot of them today. So
That's fantastic. How old is your daughter now?
she just turned 8 yesterday.
Wow, time flies. That's
It
amazing.
sure does.
My husband was home for many years. He's, as my children are now grown, as our lawyer audience knows, but I wish he had been as productive in the kitchen as you have been when he was home. He did lots of amazing things, but making rubs was not one of them. So
It helps with
that's
my
very
background
cool.
in the kitchen for sure.
Um, one of the things that I do is I go to, you said you do a lot of fairs and stuff sometimes, and I do a lot of that, and I'll be like, oh, that sounds great. And I'll like grab all these rubs. And I'll be honest, they most often sadly sit on my shelf because I get a little overwhelmed about, well, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, what's the best pairing for this particular combination of things, whether it's vegetables or meats? What advice do you give people like me who stockpile and don't use them nearly enough?
Well, don't be afraid to have fun and experiment, and don't get stuck. Just because maybe something says chicken or it says steak doesn't mean you can't swap those things around. It's definitely your food's not going to blow up, that's for sure. And just have fun in the kitchen. And the one thing I guess to look for is the high sugar content. If you're grilling under direct contact, the sugar will burn really fast. So take a quick look at your ingredients. We do all of our ingredients are labeled on the back of our bottle in order of when they're used, and there's no secret ingredients like the word spices. If it's in there, it's easy to pronounce, and it's on the back of the label. So always just take a look at the label and see what you have, and have a little adventure and have some fun with it.
You can't really go wrong with a well-cooked steak or a piece of chicken or some, vegetables that are sautéed or anything, right?
You have some good ingredients. You have some love is my secret ingredient to everything. And if you have those two things, you're bound to have good food.
When my son was little, he went to the Malcolm White Elementary School, and the school receptionist was amazed. I promise you, this is relevant to what you just said. I know that sounds like I'm completely making something else different. Long story short, every day he would go in and he would say, my mom has a special way of cooking. She has a special ingredient in what she makes. And the receptionist every day would give him a new spice, a new seasoning, a new thing. And finally, like on the last day of the year, she would call me and be like, what is it? I'm like, I can't tell you what it is. And then Derek would finally admitted the last day of school that it was love. That was the secret ingredient. So she gets
That's really what
everything
it
else.
is.
And she was wonderful, and it was a fun little game they played together. But we say the same thing in my household. Food is made with love. That's what makes it special.
Yeah, that's right. You get good ingredients, a little bit of love, and you can't go wrong.
I love it. Last question for you. I know it's holiday time, and rubs are fantastic, fun things to give people who like to cook or barbecue or a stocking surprise for someone. Any specials that you're running that folks should know about?
Actually, yes. Like I said before, I have a lot. All my rubs and seasoning are on Etsy, but we're running a special on Facebook right now on the Luna Beans and Rubs and Things Facebook page. And I have all my rubs. I've not all my rubs. A bunch of gift sets, all wrapped up, all ready to go, and we will be able to drop those off locally, Woburn in the local area for free all this week. So they're great price. They're the gift wrapping is pretty much non-fee, and the shipping will be free, and it will get to your house up until Saturday. We're running the special.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you for mentioning that. We'll make sure that the graphics will come on with the Facebook page. So thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your special kitchen talents with our community.
Thank you so much for having me, and have a happy holiday.
Thank you. Next up, we have Kim Warden with a completely different business, but equally fabulous. Welcome, Kim.
Hi, thanks for having me. I was just writing down Luna Beans, Rubs, and Things because I need some last minute gift ideas, and I love that.
I love that. And I love that I don't have to go out in the rain to get it.
Yes,
So
totally
that's
fair.
a bonus. Kim, I want to talk about, because you have, it's called The Clinic with a K, and that'll be on the screen as well for folks. And medical spa services. And that term, I'm not going to lie, scares me a little bit. I know because I chatted and looked at your website. It's not scary at all. But tell us a little bit about what those services are. They're very special, special things. It's not just a typical massage or facial that you might get at other spas.
Right. So I'm a nurse practitioner and my specialty is medical aesthetics. So what that means is I offer at my practice with a couple of other nurse practitioners, cosmetic injectables in the more invasive side, but also on the non-invasive side, we do a lot of skincare, medical grade, facelift even. We do laser services, hair restoration, a medical weight loss program. So we're kind of a boutique one-stop shop. And we just opened about 4 months ago over in Central Square. So we're really excited to be offering everything to the community.
Well, that's fantastic. Welcome to the community. It's wonderful to have a new business like yours that's unique and different from some of the things we've had before. For those folks who have not had these types of services before and aren't sure what to expect, tell us a little bit about the experience of doing something that is a little bit more medically oriented than something that we might do with just light facial products or massages and things like that.
Sure. Yeah. So that's a really good question. And I think sort of my niche population, actually, I tend to get many people who come in and they're a little apprehensive and they never had anything done, but, they're seeing themselves on Zoom and they're a little bit worried that they, have a certain line that they're noticing, or they feel like their skin tone or texture is changing as they age with sun exposure. So what we do is we welcome people in, we do a really personalized consultation right from the beginning. There's never any pressure. We don't necessarily treat the same day. Kind of try to get to know the person, understand their concerns, what their goals are, what their timeline is, what their budget is, and we make a personalized treatment plan. So I like to kind of say to people, we're anti-aging specialists in some ways. So not only can we really optimize skin health, but we also can kind of slow down the effects of aging skin and the aging face and the aging body. So it's more about preservation, a little bit enhancement, but a lot of preservation and empowering an individual.
I love that. As someone who has gone through chemotherapy recently, and it definitely changes the texture of your skin and things, but also just typical aging and menopause and just getting older and sun exposure, all the things that you talked about. So all really wonderful things to think about and be the person that you want to be and work and reserve the things that you'd like to. Now, I know that when somebody comes for a consultation, you talked about is that a typically an hour session? Is that something that people pay for? Tell us a little bit about how that works.
Yes. So typically it is an hour-long consultation. If you were to call us, our reception would try to kind of understand what you're looking for so that we can time it appropriately and also get some background so we can make the most use of our hour. Oftentimes complimentary. There are a couple of services that we will charge a consultation fee, but many times people will opt to undergo treatment and that will just get rolled in. So we very often will do a complimentary assessment as well. It just sort of depends. Some of the consultations we run are a little bit longer and just take a little bit more time and a little bit more skill. I often use ultrasound if I'm, looking at the tissue of the face and I want to see, assess a concern. So when I involve things like that, there is a small fee associated. But again, I typically will wrap that in if someone is going to pursue a treatment.
That's great. Now, I know it's looking at the website, and a lot of the people that I know who use these types of services tend to be a little bit more women-centric, but men also want to look and feel great. So what are some of the services that men might take advantage of more often?
Yeah, so actually, I think men are starting to come around a little bit. I will say that I think the aesthetics industry is gaining popularity, but also still has a little bit of a stigma to it. And for men and for women, or all genders. And I think that for men in particular, I'm starting to see a little bit more attention to their skin health. So maybe they are coming for Botox, but a lot of times I'm seeing them for a photofacial to brighten and reverse sunspots and damage, or for hair restoration using platelet-rich plasma, or oftentimes just for medical grade skincare products and various treatments like that. I also offer a M-Sculpt Neo, which is a body contouring device. So it burns fat and it builds muscle. We like to call it the 30-minute lunch break 1,000 crunch gym. So basically just can lie down and we put a pad onto your belly or your butt or your arms and you have 1,000 muscle contractions in that time. So a lot of men like that too, as well as medical weight loss. So it's really not specific for one gender. I have a great toolbox of a wide array of more invasive, but also no invasive procedures. So really kind of friendly for everyone.
That's great. Now, I know you have to be careful when you give a gift of something like this to someone because you don't want them to think that you think they're not gorgeous and beautiful and all the things that go along with it. But sometimes we either want to treat ourselves or there is someone special in our life that we know would really enjoy this type of a service. Do you do gift certificates or what other ways might someone take advantage of the holiday season to take advantage of these types of services?
Yes, so we do offer gift cards. It's a great gift. Some of the treatments can be a little bit more on the expensive side. So, having a gift card can really go a long way to helping someone feel empowered and achieve whatever they're trying to achieve in terms of their appearance or self-confidence. So I think that, we sell them in different amounts based on your preference, but they can be used to purchase skincare all the way up to laser, anything. So definitely kind of a wide umbrella of uses there.
That's great. Now, I think you mentioned you're in Central Square. What's your address?
675 Main Street. We're right at the corner of Main Street and Eaton Street, close to the movie theater. So.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing a little bit about the clinic and the fun things that you do there.
Of course, we're happy to be here and we're open Wednesdays through Sundays. So you can definitely catch us on the weekends too.
That's perfect. What a nice way to pamper yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Woburn, I wish you all a very happy new year. I will be back in a couple of weeks, and I hope you enjoy this next couple weeks of seasons of busy times and family and friends and loved ones. I also know that this can be a difficult time for some people. So definitely know there are lots of resources to help and support you if this time isn't very joyous for you for any reason. But in the meantime, please continue to take good care of each other, and we'll see you in January.